the payment interface which is mostly used around the world, the number of transactions goes into billions while the amount transferred from it goes into trillions. This is the impact of India's UPI, which stands for Unified Payment Interface, and now the rules for the UPI will be changed from 1st of April. So what are these new rules? That is what we will be looking today. Hello and welcome to the in-depth series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha, and in today's episode we will be talking about the new rules for UPI which will be implemented from 1st of April. So first of all, let us look at the timeline. First we will be looking at the news, then what are the new rules of UPI, what is the benefit of using UPI, what is UPI, and then about the NPCI, and in the end a prelims MCQ. Topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 3, that is economy. So the news talks about UPI users alert banks and UPI apps. So banks and UPI apps to implement new mobile number verification rules from April 1, 2025. So till 31st March, the rules which as of now are going on will work, while from 1st of April new rules will be applied. So the news talks about that NPCI, that is the National Payment Corporation of India, which the UPI comes under. So the NPCI has announced the new directives for improving security and efficiency of UPI transactions. So basically there are few of the problems which the UPI transactions were going on. One of the problem was that the transactions was done to wrong phone numbers. Now UPI are basically attached to people's phone number. So to improve the transactions done under UPI, the NPCI has announced new directives, and these new directives will be applied from 1st of April, and these new directives will improve security and efficiency features of the UPI. Now the new directives will come into effect from 1st of April 2025, and the new guidelines will require banks, payment service providers and the third party UPI service providers. Now there is banks and the registered mobile number of any person, or the messages which come to any person that any kind of transactions has been done. So bank has a registered mobile number of every person, and that mobile number is associated with the UPI account also. Then there is payment service providers, and then there is third party UPI service providers, and this third party UPI service provider is like PhonePe, Google Pay, Paytm. So basically people as of now are using the UPI through these third party UPI service providers, because these third party UPI service providers, they have occupied a very large market for themselves among the people, and their popularity is also very high. To implement certain measures regarding the numeric UPI IDs. Now the numeric UPI IDs means the UPI IDs which are run through the numbers. Now there are different types of UPI IDs. UPI IDs are with regard to the name also, numbers also, phone numbers also. So the phone numbers, that is the numeric UPI IDs, there are few of the rules which will be changed. Now let's talk about the new rules. So the new rules talks about that the bank's service provider app shall use the mobile number revocation list digital intelligence platform and update their database accordingly at regular intervals, at least once on a weekly basis. As of now, what happens is, now imagine a scenario, what happens if this is person number 1. Then this person number 1 has a mobile number. Now this person number 1 has a mobile number. Like for example, if the person number 1 who has a mobile number has died, and now this same mobile number has been given to some other person. Now what happens is that if the first person has not updated or the other person has not updated on the person who has died on his or her behalf, then that now this number has been stopped or that this number is not working anymore. Now, as of now, what happens is that till the time people do not inform, the mobile number keeps on working. And many a times we see that the mobile numbers which are there has not worked for months. The mobile numbers are not active or the mobile numbers is not in use for a very long period of time. Now those mobile numbers creates a problem for the UPI transactions many a times, because these mobile number, people who are not aware whether they are working or not, they tend to send the details or they tend to make transactions on those numbers. Now what will happen is that on weekly basis means every week the person who is using the UPI ID will receive a notification or will receive a form or an approval form, and the UPI ID details or the phone number will be written on that, and the person needs to give the approval that yes, this is the exact ID that the person is using, and after the approval the ID will work, and if the approval will not be given, then the ID will not work. Now what will this do? On this weekly basis, the approval that the person will give will help in keeping aside the numbers which are not active users. So on weekly basis, the database will be checked. So this will keep the database check also. Then this is aimed at reducing transaction errors which are caused due to outdated and reassigned mobile numbers. Now there are mobile numbers which are outdated and has been assigned to other persons. So if any wrong transaction takes place, then that is where the problem lies. But with this weekly approval by the people who are using the UPI ID, this will give a good idea that whether the user is active or not. Then the Department of Telecommunication guidelines state that a mobile number which has been disconnected can be reallocated to a new subscriber after a 90-day gap. So if a number has been disconnected, then after a gap of 90 days, the number can be allocated to some other person. Usually if a subscriber make no calls, sends no text or does not use mobile data for 3 months. For 3 months, if the person is not actively using the phone or the mobile data, then the number gets deactivated by the telecom service provider and then they are reassigned to someone else. Then the UPI IDs linked to inactive mobile numbers will get deactivated. Then users have to ensure that their mobile numbers registered with their banks are active and in use. And now this is the most important thing, that the people who are using the UPI ID, it becomes important that they are the active users so that any wrong information is not sent to anyone else. Then NPCI has also started eliminating the collect payment features from the UPI to deal with the increasing number of frauds, and as of now, cyber attack, digital arrest are a major cause of problems, and to save people or to save their data from these kind of problems or the cyber attacks, it becomes important for the banks also to become very alert and updated with regard to the information of their customers. Then this system will be restricted to only large verified merchants, while person to person collect payments will be kept at rupees 1000, will be kept at rupees 2000. Now what will happen as of now is that the UPI limit as of now per day is rupees 1 lakh, but it gets varied with regard to other different scenarios. Like for example, 2 lakh payment limit is also there with regards to the capital account. Then there is 5 lakh limit also with regards to emergencies like hospitals. So there is different limits with regards to UPI. Now the basic problems with regards to UPI is the deactivated accounts. Then apart from the deactivated account, the problem is of unfair transactions which goes into other accounts. Then reassigned numbers with others UPI ID. So many a times it is seen that you might have received calls that when you pick up the call and the other person says that they want to talk to some other person, but now that other person is not there, you have the number. So that is where the problem comes, and that is how that the miscommunication with regards to the transaction of money from one account to another account must not take place. Now the benefits of these changed rules would be, this will improve interoperability, enhance user convenience, and will reduce errors which are caused by mobile number changes in UPI transactions. So the errors must reduce. Then making UPI transactions smoother, safer, and more user friendly by reducing errors related to mobile number changes. Now what is UPI? That is the Unified Payment Interface. So it helps, or it powers multiple bank accounts into a single mobile application. Now what happens is, imagine this is your mobile app and then you open this app. So within one single mobile app, you can operate many of your accounts. Like imagine you have 3 different bank accounts. So you can operate those 3 different bank accounts through one single mobile and can make different payments through these 3 different bank accounts. So that is, it powers multiple bank accounts into a single mobile application, and of any participating bank, merging several banking features like, for example, transfer of funds, and then transfer of funds at a very rapid pace. Pace is fast and it is efficient and it is safe also. Then it is developed by NPCI in the year 2016 and was built over the IMPS infrastructure, that is the immediate payment service infrastructure. Now UPI is something like, the other person is standing there, or you have gone to a shop to buy something and then you want to make the payment, you can make the payment then and there with the UPI. This is the speed of UPI, and this is how efficient UPI is, and this is the reason why the maximum number of transactions in India is done by the UPI, and the amount goes into trillions and the number of transactions goes into billions. Most successful real-time payment system globally, because the transfer of money takes place in the real time. Then it provides simplicity, safety, and security in person to person and person to merchant transactions in India. Now about NPCI, that is the National Payment Corporation of India. NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. So it is an umbrella organization for operating retail payment and settlement systems in India. Then it is an initiative of the RBI and the IBA, that is the Indian Banks Association, under provisions of Payment and Settlements Act of 2007. Then incorporated as a not-for-profit company under the provisions Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013. Then launched payment products such as RuPay Card, IMPS, UPI, Bheem. So RuPay Card, IMPS, UPI or Bheem, all of these products has been launched by the NPCI. It works under the, or it is an initiative of RBI and the Indian Bank Association, and the provisions, it goes into Payment and Settlements Act of 2007. And now in the end, a prelims MCQ, and like always, you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. So the question is, the Unified Payment Interface was developed by the NPCI, SEBI, IRIDA or LIC. So we have discussed this in the video. So give me the answer in the comment section. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading, keep writing, and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.